Okay, we're all set. Today is a day of reflection on one of the most famous acharyas in our line, the spiritual master of our beloved Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It is on this day that he left this world. And for Vaishnavas, their appearance and their disappearance are glorified in the same way, because their bodies are completely spiritual. This is the so on these days we remember, we reflect with gratitude for their contribution to giving us what we have today. They're setting the example as an acharya, the immense devotion, how they immersed their lives in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how we wouldn't be here today, associating, chanting Hare Krishna, serving the deities, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, without the contribution of these wonderful devotees, these great acharyas within our parampara. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gave us Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is a manifestation of the mercy of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Took his mission, which was to spread Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, to fulfill the prophecy to spread Krishna consciousness to all over the world, to every town and village, to go outside of the country, the subcontinent of India, and so that all people of the suffering world will have the ability to experience their eternal constitutional position as eternal servants of Krishna by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave Srila Prabhupada the instructions that if you ever get money, print books. And, don't write those books in Sanskrit or Hindi or Bengali, but, print them in English. And that if you can go over to the West, go to the West and distribute those books. He established within Srila Prabhupada what later became the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, which we all reside in today. We owe our great gratitude to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Today, we make a humble attempt to try to glorify Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. We will be singing bhajans. We will be reading from a book called the Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava, which talks about his life and his mission, which we can reflect on and will help us gain greater insight and gratitude. And we will have a Pushpanjali, a Guru Puja at 11:45. In between the reading, we will chant the Jayanilo prayers, the prayers of separation, since this is the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. There'll also be an opportunity for any of the devotees that want to say anything, feelings of gratitude or inspiration that they get from the example and life of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Okay, we'll start off with a kirtan. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namaho Nupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine.
Namo
Om
Vishnu
Vishnupadaya
Padaya
Krishna Prestaya
Daya
Bhutale
Bhutale
Srimate Bhakti
Bhakti
Siddhanta
Daya
Saraswati Iti Namine.
Manu
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Bhutale Namane
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktarinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur
Oh Bhaktari
Bhaktavinda.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Gadadara Shivasari Oh Bhaktari
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Bhaktisiddhanta Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Bhaktisiddhanta Jaya Prabhupada
Prabhupada,
Jaya Bhaktisiddhanta Jaya Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Jaya Prabhupada
Pada,
Haribo Haribo
Haribo,
Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Nitai Gora Haribo Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshnavanavi Devi Dayite Dai Kripa Bharaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Varshnavanavi Devi Dayita Das, another name for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, who is favored by Srimati Radharani, and who is an ocean of transcendental mercy and the deliverer of the science of Krishna. So we will be reading from a book. First of all, welcome to all the devotees that are joining us online on Zoom, as well as YouTube, as well as the devotees that are assembled here that live in the temple ashram, as well as a few guests. We've gathered here today to celebrate the life and glorify His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We will be reading from a book called the Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava by His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. So what we can do is, I'll read a little bit, and if anybody else wants to come up and read, at a certain point we'll break and we'll chant the Jayanilo prayers. Sridhar Prabhu, you know those prayers? Would you like to sing? You know the prayers, Jayanilo, Premadana? We have copies of it.
Which song?
Jayanilo, Premadana. Yeah. Okay, so we'll break from the reading in a little bit, and then we'll read back and forth with some bhajans. We'll do Pushpanjali at 11:45. This chapter is entitled, The Revolutionary Preacher of Truth. The spiritually minded will judge how many major revolutions in history compare to the revolutionary preaching by the Gaudiya Math against the materialistic thought patterns of the world. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati inherited the urge to preach from his father and mentor, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Energized by the Thakur's vision of Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion, diffusing throughout the globe, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had an unrelenting drive to deliver Shuddha Bhakti to all jivas in the universe, and even those beyond it. He wanted to capture the whole territory of Maya and convert it into Krishna consciousness. He could not tolerate that there was any place devoid of Krishna Bhakti, not restricted within the cultural horizon of Bengal. He wanted to annihilate misconceptions at all levels and all cultures of human society and implement full-fledged theism everywhere. Even though seemingly impossible, he took it as his duty to spread Shuddha Bhakti by all means and at any cost. To establish Lord Chaitanya's mission, the fetters and caste, rituals, and indeed all pre-existing stereotypes and dogmas would have to be demolished. Hence, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati inevitably became a revolutionary. He's also known as the Lion Guru, the Shinga Guru, because he was so powerful. He was fearless in taking on the cultural conceptions of the time. And a lot of times throughout history, there's certain cultural conceptions that are attached to spirituality. Only this class of people can, advance in spiritual life. You have to be born a certain way. You have to look a certain way. You have to be from this caste. He took all that on, the various dogmas, caste consciousness, social consciousness, and so he was a revolutionary in the highest form of a revolutionary. His efforts were concentrated in Bengal, where Gaudiya Vaishnavism had lost its original dynamicism, and from the anthological perspective had transmuted into yet another component of the vast heterogeneous mosaic known as Hinduism. Although widespread, Vaishnav Dharma was enveloped by a thick fog of nescience, having become synonymous with artificial shows of ecstasy, mantras imparted for money, flesh-eating devotees, cheaters competing to be lauded as avatars, Siddha Pranali initiation for the asking, and descriptions of the amorous pastimes of Shri Shri Radhakrishna, bandied about like cheap market gossip. In this way, Prakrita Sahajas had intonated the movement of Lord Chaitanya into a foolish, immoral travesty of Vaishnav Dharma. Srila Saraswati Thakur had to reestablish the genuine parampara, which had all but vanished. To purge the Gaudiya lineage of impurities, he publicly decried ecclesiastical and social conventions that were suffocating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sampradaya. Animated with the heroic spirit of Hanuman in opposing Ravana, Srila Saraswati Thakur committed himself to a lifetime of struggle against the beneficiaries of the rotten status quo. Preaching meant fighting. Although Indian society had traditionally been deeply religious, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati insisted that mere theocentricity was not sufficient. Thus, he openly criticized beliefs and practices held sacred by most Hindus, such as impersonalism and demigod worship. With unfaltering determination, he inhibitedly colleged various mispresentations of Vaishnav Dharma, business in the name of religion, casteism, atheism, Western cultural chauvinism, sensualism posing as spirituality, and innumerable forms of opinionative and deviant philosophies, whatever fell short of pure devotion to Krishna. Thus, in accord with intrinsic purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, which singularly among scriptures established the topmost understanding of the Supreme Lord and the individual soul's relationship with him, and expounded Dharma Prayojita Kaitava, complete rejection of religious principles that are selfishly motivated. Holding that every word of Srimad Bhagavatam outweighs any other opinions, past, present, and future, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati likened all religious processes, save that given to Bhagavatam, to jars of poison with a little milk floating on top, and composed to distich based on Bhagavatam's rejection of motivated religious practices. Pritivete yata kata dharma nama chale, Bhagavata kahe taha paripurna chale. Bhagavatam states that whatever in the world is passing as dharma is actually wholesale deception. Would somebody else like to read? Just go for the page yourself. And then we'll see.
Srila Saraswati Thakur lived for truth and, like a valiant warrior, never hesitated to attack the myriad of manifestations of falsity. Personifying the spirit of Srimad Bhagavatam by insisting that the highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all, he effectively sifted out the real from the unreal, the servant of the real from the servant of the unreal, the Vaishnava from the non-Vaishnava. He never countenanced the slightest deviation from the truth, not even by the most eminent or nearest and dearest persons, and would detect, expose, and dissect even the subtlest presence of fallacy in theories and statements that to others appeared entirely plausible. He held that all prevalent so called truths point only to a limited ideal formulated by subjective projection, and thus are actually untruths and impasses in realizing the truth. He exhorted, do not try to discover the nature of truth by the exercise of your imagination. Do not endeavor to attain the truth through the experience of this world. Do not manufacture truth in order to satisfy your erring inclinations or hastily accept anything for the reason that it satisfies such inclinations. Do not regard as truth anything that has been built up or has the support of a majority of people like yourself, nor as untruth anything that is rejected by the overwhelming majority. According to the scriptures, there will be found hardly one in a crore of human beings who really worships the truth. What is proclaimed by the united voices of all people of this world as truth may turn out to be false. Therefore, cease to confront the truth in a challenging mood. The truth is not brought into existence by such arrogance. One has to approach the truth in the spirit of absolute submission. It is necessary to listen to truth. Truth is self-revealing, and only when it is pleased to reveal itself can its actual nature be known to us, and not otherwise. He explained why broadcasting the truth was rare. Everyone is eager for adoration by others, not for the absolute truth. Those who make a show of being preachers do not disturb mankind, but rather maintain everyone's present mentality while busily protecting their own existence. Therefore, there is no propagation of the truth, since one's popularity is not served by speaking or hearing the truth. Pure items are rare and not easily attainable, and so are not much appreciated. Similarly, there is no respect for those who do not misguide people, but are busy trying through Sankirtan and Harikatha to turn them toward the Lord. At present, it is fashionable to be cheated by those who, in the name of Dharma, misguide people. Real devotees do not speak to satisfy their audiences. They do not cheat people. Rather, pure devotees reveal the defects of cheaters who love to compromise. Only fortunate persons learn to be cautious after hearing the words of saints. Although the words of genuine devotees may appear to contradict our present taste and experience, nonetheless, they are the most auspicious for us.
Hence, a major focus of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's preaching was to expose cheating in all forms, especially in the spheres of philosophy and religious practice. He denounced as hypocritical all varieties of religion practiced without the intention of surrendering to Krishna, such as those meant to improve moral, social, or intellectual life or promote an ironic ambience conducive to gentile sense gratification in this world. Those aimed at enjoying enhanced sensual delights in a future birth, and even those aspiring for spiritual liberation but devoid of devotion to Krishna. He presented religion not as a palliative for the pangs of material existence, but as the required alternative to it. He was not interested in becoming famous or respected, in merely creating a good impression, or in becoming a religious icon. He preached to establish Gaudiya Siddhanta, to uphold the dignity of authentic Gaudiya Sampradaya, and to convince others of overwhelming necessity of accepting Krishna Bhakti. Srila Saraswati Thakur refused to be molded by popular demand into the stereotype sadhu of flowery beatitude, passing a halcyon existence and doling out benedictions in exchange for contributions. Nearly all people who approach sadhus seek peace, reassurance, and relief from bruises of life, expecting blessings for solving their material problems and to facilitate unobstructed sense indulgence. Such individuals do not want or expect a sadhu to force his way into their phantasmagoria and reveal their life to be in need of wholesale reform. But Srila Saraswati Thakur was a different grade of sadhu. Like a lotus which lives in water but remains above it, he moved in human society but was unaffected by it. Even numerous sadhus of his day, most of whom sequestered themselves from the world and its turbulence, could not understand his approach to spiritual life. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati considered that his responsibility as a sadhu was to slash others' misconstructions. All the persons who lead serene lives of study and prayer but do not preach may be regarded as saintly. They cannot be compared to devotees who go out to confront all opposing elements and fight for Krishna. And even among preachers, many prefer to adopt a soft line, averting conflict by not distributing others' false egos. Sadhus were expected to be mild and non judgmental, avoiding causing annoyance to others and promoting concord by recognizing all opinions as equally tenable. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati deemed such liberalism another form of deception, a self serving acceptance born of fear of retribution. In other words, refraining from pointing out others' misdoings lest oneself become subject to assessment. He parodied the hypocrisy inherent in such mutual social acquiescence by saying, Main bhi chup, tum bhi chup. I will be quiet, you be quiet. Srila Saraswati Thakur was not for sectarian coexistence, conciliation, or syncretism. His sole means for bridging the abyss between others and himself was to exhort them to come to his side. He spoke against mushy tolerance of nonsensical ideas in the name of ecumenism, which he anyway took as nebulous and impossible dream, unless people were prepared to forswear miscellaneous rubrics of cheating religion and simply surrender unto Krishna. He expostulated against that style of utopian consanity so cherished by worldly idealists who claim at attuning all streams of human thought with an inclusive, tolerant, pluralistic, open-minded ethos in defiance of Krishna, as capsulized in Ram Krishna's catchy jingle, Yataman Tatapat. All are approaching the absolute in diverse ways. Srila Saraswati Thakur countered this by stating that those who worship on assorted religious path cannot possibly serve Bhagwan. He taught that real harmonizing is achievable only by aligning with Krishna, whereby everyone's actual self interest would automatically be fulfilled, and any other attempts for consanity, however seemingly noble, would merely engender further envy, rivalry, and competition, and thus were actually disjunctive and ungodly. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, dubbed as pseudo latitudinarianism, the impersonalist attempt to obfuscate or make light of meaningful differences, such as those between genuine and watered down dharma, and considered it to be based on what he termed Chit Jad Samanvaya Vad, trying to conflate material with spiritual, which he compared with the endeavor to inosculate gold and stone. How can Sat and Asat, devotee and non-devotee, pious and sinful, literate and illiterate, demigod and supreme lord, chaste and unchaste, dharma and adharma, light and darkness, constitutional and conditional, bhakti and abhakti be homologous? Everything seems all right to those unmindful of the tidings of the internal reality, who cannot enter into its highly subtle understanding. An ignorant boy may claim that his illegible script has meaning because that of an intelligent person has meaning. And one who does not regard scrawl and meaningful writing as equal will be accused of sectarianism or partiality by the foolish. If we appeal to popularists who have no comprehension of Hari Katha or Satya Siddhanta, they will say that to promote genuine Siddhanta in sectarian and to refute Asat Siddhanta is blasphemy. They think when we know nothing, better to cook the accounts by calling everything equal. In this way, everyone will stay satisfied and there will be no mutual bad feelings. But truth and falsehood, devotion and non-devotion can never be one. Persons devoid of devotional sentiment, who feel no necessity to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who do not want actual benefit, who consider sensual enjoyment and fame desirable, will adjust contaminated and pure as one.
So we're reading from the book of Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava in the chapter of the revolutionary truth. And I just wanted to see if we were all following along, with the reading, and just how powerful Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was. He was the upholder of the absolute truth. And as Prabhu was reading, there's a conception out there of, let me do my thing, you do your thing. Everybody has their own different spin, their own way of presenting things. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as it was introduced in the beginning of this chapter, his mission was to make sure that every corner of the universe was filled with Krishna consciousness. That misconceptions, that every corner of the universe would be devoid of misconceptions of true devotional service to Krishna. And it wasn't just within Bengal, it just wasn't within India, it wasn't even within the earth. He said all over the universe. That was his mission. So sometimes, and with that spirit, he took on the service to eradicate the misconceptions that plagued not only Vaishnavism, but throughout society of what spirituality was. So oftentimes that could be looked upon by his contemporaries as arrogant. Just stay in your place. Deal with your followers. So to that, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur replied, if to carry out the command of the Vaishnav Guru, I have to be arrogant or brutish or suffer eternal perdition, I am prepared to welcome such eternal damnation or even sign a contract to that effect. I will not listen to the words of malicious persons in lieu of the command of my Sri Gurudev. I will dissipate with indomitable courage and conviction the currents of thought to the rest of the world, relying on the strength derived from the lotus feet of my Guru Dev. I confess to this arrogance. Such deep and strong faith. How fortunate we are to be connected to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to our beloved Srila Prabhupada. Before we move on, we can read a little bit more. We're going to chant a bhajan in prayers of separation. But I would like to ask the devotees that have assembled here, as well as the devotees online. We have His Grace Haryashra Prabhu, if they would like to comment or say something of gratitude or appreciation of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Haryashra Prabhu, would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna, thank you, Jonah Prabhu. I touched on it this morning. For me, there's such gratitude for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati because we know that we owe everything to Srila Prabhupada. I mean, if we really look at our good fortune, then whoever we are within ISKCON, we are so grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Disciple, straight disciple, Shiksha, grand disciple, however, Prabhupada is everything for us. But when you look closely at the life of Srila Prabhupada, and you go to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, it's just unbelievable what he had to go through. And he wasn't so tolerant, you know. He was on the order of his spiritual, and just because he understood the mission of his father, then he wanted to eradicate, you know, this cheating propensity, the sahajas, everything. He wanted to wipe them all out. And when Srila Prabhupada came here, Prabhupada came here because the order wasn't just given to Srila Prabhupada, the order was given to many. But Srila Prabhupada heard him. And so, you know, through the Lilamrita as well as in the ISKCON founder Charya, you meet Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and all of his, so many of his contributions. We know Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but a lot of times we miss the sweetness of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And for us, remember we used to hear every morning, we'd read him from his Amritavani. Instructions are so strong, but yet still so Krishna conscious, demanding that we be Krishna conscious, not compromising. And I told Rabindra Rupa when this book first came out, I started to read it. And I said, why is it when I read things with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, I feel so worthless? I said, I really feel like I've wasted my life. He said, welcome to the club. He said, I feel the same way. Because his standard was high. And because the purity is so strong, you feel it. We were speaking about this morning when that fire from the hearts of those pure Vaishnavas, from their heart's fire, it transfers into our hearts. So you feel it, you see them, you hear them. I'm not the right person so much to speak about Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, but my appreciation and affection and gratitude for him is immense. Just so much. Everything you see from Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada speak about him, and he said, he saved me, and he started to cry. And, you know, it's just so amazing. Anyway, I don't want to say thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just, and that's why most of we're reading about the mission to hear about it and hear from other devotees that would like to say something. Anybody else would like to comment on what we've been reading, comment on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Yes.
Derived the mission and Bhaktisiddhanta happened, and how he always tried to be grateful towards Bhaktisiddhanta. Even though Bhaktisiddhanta was his own father, yeah, he never took him for granted. He saw him also as an child with the mood of mission.
Yes, yes. The relationship, for those that couldn't hear online, your initiated name, Prabhu? Shivas Chandra, Prabhu, was speaking about the relationship between Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And even though they were father and son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he saw it as his life's work to fulfill the desire of his father. He took him as a guru. And it goes back to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood this whole idea of a worldwide Krishna consciousness movement. Began with Lord Chaitanya, but then got re-excavated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur understood the service ahead, and he knew that he needed soldiers. And not only soldiers, he needed a primary general. So he prayed to Lord Krishna, I need some help here. I need a ray of Vishnu. And Lord Krishna sent him. He had many children. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He came specifically to assist Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and carry out his mission. And so it's throughout this book, it talks so many wonderful pastimes that they shared together. How Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when they went out to meet with the different religious scholars, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur would send, they would invite him, he would send his son. And it's knowing that his son he was a genius. From the material point of view, he was a genius. From a spiritual point of view, he was a pure devotee. He couldn't be defeated from any side. He was so proud of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he knew that he was passing it off, the mission into the right hands. He established the different maths. Also well documented. At his birth, there were so many signs. The umbilical cord was tied around his body like a Brahmin thread. Lord Jagannath, when Rath Yatra stopped outside the house, the flowers fell off of Lord Jagannath. So many auspicious signs were there at his birth, and the connection between that family, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's just so wonderful to hear about. Mukund, Hare Krishna, thank you for joining us. What would you like to say?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wanted to say that I have a question and one fact to share, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is also known as a Singh Guru or a Lion Guru.
Yes.
I know that fact, but my question is that why is he called that?
He's a Shinga Guru because he was so, as we're reading, he is so strong in his presentation. So a lion is known as he's the king of the jungle. When the lion's presence, everybody else falls at their command. The presence of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur made everybody bow down with awe and respect. They said that the people that would debate against him, the impersonalists, the Sahajas, if they saw him and they were walking on the same side of the street, they would go on the other side of the street. They would turn around and walk the other way. He was powerful. His presence was powerful. Not only was he a pure devotee and extremely devotional and extremely compassionate, he was no nonsense.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. If anybody would like to add to that, they could please do so. Okay, so what we'll do now is we're going to sing the prayers of songs of separation to the departed Vaishnava. Suhikaranga Prabhu, you'll lead us in that. We're going to pass out the prayers. Just give me 1 second. We're going to put it up on the screen for everybody to see. Prabhu, you want to come sit over here? You can sit here in front of the microphone. Let's see. You can come here. Share screen. Spotlight. We'll read the translation first. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who is filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone?
Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rup Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishna Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go?
I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities?
Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastime, Narottama Das simply means.
Jayanila prema dhana karuna pacho
Jayanila prema dhana karuna pacho
Jayanila Corona Pacho Hena Prabhu Kotha Gela Sarga
Prabhu Kotha Gela
Hena Prabhu Kotha Gela Sarga Thakur
Hena Prabhu Kotha Gela
Amora Sarupa Kaha Sanatan Amora Kadasha Raghunatha Patita Kahadarsha Raghunatha Patita Kahamura Bhatta Juga Kaha Kobira Kahamura Bhatta Juga Kaha Kobira Kahamura Ekakale kotha gele goranatara Ekakale kotha gele goranatara Pasane kutiba matha Anale pishiba Pasane kutiba Anale pishiba Gorangena gunera nidhi kotha gele pava Gorangena nidhi Gorangera gunera nidhi kotha gele pavo Goranga gunera nidhi kotha gele pavo Seshava Sangita Sange Je Paila Bila Seshanga Sangita Sange Je Paila Bila Seshanga Na Paya Kande Naratamada Seshanga Na Paya Kande Anila Premadhana Karuna Pacho Kena Prabhu Kota Gela Ya Sarga Thakur Kena Prabhu Kota Jaya Charja Thakur, Jaya Charja Thakur, Acharya Thakur, Jaya Charja
Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Jaya Bhakti Siddhanta, Jaya Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, Jaya Bhakti Siddhanta Jaya Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev.
Thank you, Suhit Prabhu. Beautiful bhajan. Well, in about 10 minutes, we're going to do Pushpanjali. Until then, we'll continue to read from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava. Srila Saraswati Thakur never characterized himself as an apologist of a particular religious faith, not even Hinduism. For although in sociological terms, Vaishnav Dharma could be defined as part of Hindu Gestalt, in its pristine essence, it transcended all exoteric attempts at definition. He stood above and apart from all terrestrial religions, which were but a partial reflection of the eternal truth that he alone was delineating. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, "We do not subscribe to the way in which Hindus, Mohammedans, Christians, etc., have been endeavoring to set forth their respective contentious views. Neither has the obsolete quarrel between the Shaktas and the Vaishnavas have any bearing on the subject matter of our preaching." So the Shaktas are like the demigod worshippers. "Our words will never die as long as time endures. Nay, even after time itself has ceased to function. The fact is that once a person becomes really conversant with the message of Sri Chaitanya Dev about the function of spiritual love, all little narrowness are eliminated once and for all." When asked if Vaishnav Dharma could be acceptable to all, Srila Saraswati Thakur replied, "There is no other Dharma other than Vaishnav Dharma. It is the eternal Dharma of all jivas. Whatever else is propagated in this world as Dharma is either a step toward or a perversion of Vaishnav Dharma. There is no use of being Christian, Muslim, Hindu, an animal, a bird, a tree, a stone, a demigod, a human, or a demon. Let us all become Vaishnavas and be situated in their eternal constitutional position. This is what Sri Mahaprabhu effected when he went to South India, where he loudly chanted the Lord's glories while traveling. His chanting created many Vaishnavas. By his mercy, as he promulgated the forest, even the birds, the animals, the trees, the creepers, they became Vaishnavas. Worshippers of Shiva and Durga, atheists, Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists, impersonalists, materialists, mental speculators, yogis, ascetics, learned, the foolish, the sick, and the healthy, all became Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu's only weapon was the chanting of Krishna's holy names. Those who became Vaishnavas, in turn, made other Vaishnavas by acting as spiritual masters under Mahaprabhu's order. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati appreciated daring disciples who took risks in preaching and did not hedge or compromise. He referred to conciliators as good-for-nothings, or in Bengali, Shandir Gobar, bull's dung, a disparaging term meaning useless person. He cautioned his disciples that a flatterer can neither be a guru nor a preacher, and told them, don't speak to please the Janata, people in general, but to please Janardhan, Krishna. Declare that those who do not perform Hari Bhajan are foolish and are butchers of their own soul. They publicly may not like our message, yet it is incumbent upon us to state the truth. It is our responsibility to strongly refute ideologies opposed to Vaishnav Dharma. Our previous acharyas did so to a great degree, and it is our duty to follow in their footsteps. He viewed the disinclination to correct others as being a sign of a cheater, and he warned, do not associate with so-called sadhus who, by not chastising anyone, do not act for others' welfare. By associating with sadhus, the heart should become purified from sinful propensities. The present role of a sadhu acting for others, mundane happiness, can render no well-being. Srila Saraswati Thakur thus personified Lord Chaitanya's statement, Nahila Dharma, Nayaya Rakshane. Without being a nirpikesha, impartial, aloof from the popular opinion, did not protect Dharma. He explained that nirapeksha means being unaffected by anything material and remaining steady in the Lord's service. He himself was never swayed by worldly predilections, and by his commitment to speaking only the unbiased truth, he firmly protected Dharma. So before we move on to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki, I'd like to welcome His Grace Kaivalya Prabhu. And before we move on to the Pushpanjali, I would like to ask him if he would like to say any words of glorification of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Sure, Prabhu. I can say some of his quotations, famous quotations. In 5 minutes, I can say them. Then
Okay.
we can Pushpanjali, sure. So his famous quotation, in this world of Maya, which is averse to the Lord, full of trials and tribulations, only patience, humility, and respect for others are our friends for Hari Bhajan. His other quotations, worship of the lotus feet of the spiritual master. There is no work as auspicious as serving the spiritual master. Of all worship, the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead is the greatest. But the worship of the lotus feet of the spiritual master is even greater than the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is firmly realized. We cannot understand what saintly association means. We cannot understand what the shelter of a spiritual master means. We cannot understand that we are dependent and he is our maintainer. If we take shelter of the lotus feet of the spiritual master, we can become free from illusions, fear, and distress. If we are wholeheartedly beg for his mercy without any deceit, then the spiritual master bestows all auspiciousness upon us. Only an empowered personality can distribute the holy name of the Lord and enjoin all fallen souls to the worship of Krishna. By distributing the holy name of the Lord, he cleanses the heart of the most fallen people. Therefore, he extinguishes the blazing fire of the material world. Not only that, he broadcasts the shining brightness of Krishna's effulgence throughout the world. Such an Acharya or spiritual master should be considered non-different from Krishna. That is, he should be considered incarnation of Lord Krishna's potency. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Thank you, Kaivalya Prabhu, for reading that. At this time, we're going to have Pushpanjali, and then we'll have Guru Puja after that, and then Artik and Kirtan for the deities here in the temple. I hope for those of you at home, you'll be able to follow, that the sound will be okay. We're going to transition now. Suhit Gauranga Prabhu, you will lead us in the Pushpanjali prayers. You have the flowers. They're up front there. Okay. Yeah. We'll wait till everybody gets there. We'll go through the whole this is Guru Purnamanda. And then we go, yeah. Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta. Yeah. And Guru Kishore Babaji. Guru Kishore and Bhaktisiddhanta. And Jagannath Babaji. And then no. Yeah, then Vishnu Purnam? Yeah. And then after you do all that, you come back to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati 3 times. So, and each time. Prabhupada mantra, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? Yeah, Prabhupada. Okay. And then Vishnu Purnam? Yeah. Okay. Then next. Bhaktisiddhanta 3 times. Yeah, in between each one, you should push one.
Namo Vishnu Padaya
Krishna Prestaya
Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Deshatarine
Padaya,
Vishnupadaya,
Jaya Bhutale,
Krishna Pristaya Bhutale,
Siddhanta, Saraswati Namine,
Lakshmi,
Vishetaya, Vipadoye,
Vipadait,
Krishna Samanda Vignadayane, Prabhave Nama, Madhurjala Ujjala Pramata, Madhurjala Premada, Sri Rupanuga Bhakti Da, Sri Gaura Shakti Vigraya, Namaste te nama, namaste, namaste te namaste, namaste, namaste Gauravani Srimukti Dinatarini, Sri Rupanubhadha, Sri Rupa, Anudha, Prasiddha, Bhaitaharine, Namo, Gaura Kisharaya, Sakshat Vairaka, Mutte, Sakshat Mutte. Sakshat Vairamutte. Sri
বিপ্রলম্ব রসম্পদে
Vipraplastarate Sundhe,
পদম পূজায়তে নমঃ।
Prasan Prajate Nama, Sri Bhakti Vinodaya, Sachidananda Namine, Gaura Shakti, Swarupaya, Rupanakaya Te Nama, Te Sri Gaura, Sri Gaura Bhara, Sri Gaura,
শ্রী গৌর শ্রী গৌর ভূমস্তং নির্দেষ্টা স্বজনপ্রিয় বৈষ্ণব সার্বভৌম শ্রী জগন্নাথায় তে নমঃ। পঞ্চকল্প কৃপা সিন্ধুব এবচ পতিতানাং পাবনেভ্য বৈষ্ণবেভ্য নমো নমঃ। পঞ্চতত্ত্ব
Next.
again to
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
yeah,
3 times.
okay, only okay.
Just Bhaktisiddhanta. Okay. In between each one.
নমো বিষ্ণুপাদায়
Namo Vishnupadaya,
কৃষ্ণপৃষ্ঠায় ভূতলে শ্রীমতে ভক্তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী নামিনে শ্রী বার্ষভানু বিদয়িতায় কৃপাদয়ে কৃষ্ণ সম্বন্ধ বিজ্ঞানদায়িনে প্রভবে নমঃ। মাধুর্যল প্রেমাঢ্য শ্রী রূপানুগ ভক্তিদ শ্রী গৌর করুণা শক্তি বিগ্রহায় নমস্তুতে নমস্তে গৌরবাণী দীনতারিণে শ্রী রূপানু গৌরুদ্ধা সিদ্ধান্ত ভবান্ত হারিণে অঞ্জলি।
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj ki
Jai. নমো বিষ্ণুপাদায় কৃষ্ণপৃষ্ঠায় ভূতলে শ্রীমতে সিদ্ধান্ত Saraswati namine Sri Varshabhanu Vide Vidayata Krishadaye Krishna Samanda Viganadaine
Vidanadayini
Prabhave Namaha
Prabhave Namah Mujala
Premadda Sri Rupanaka Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Sri Mute Dinatarine Sri Rupana Gavarudha Bhaktisiddhanta Bhavanta Harine Esha Pushpanjali
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj ki
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Namine Sri Varshabhanu Vide Vidayita Kripadaye Krishna Samanda Vigyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhu Jal Premada Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Sri Mute Dinatarine Sri Rupana Gavrudha Bhaktisiddhanta Bhavanta Harine Esha Pushpanjali
His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki. Guru Puja. Shri Guru Charana Padma Shri Guru Jai
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaurahari. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga. Gaura, Gaura, Gaurahari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaurahari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaurahari. Gaura, Gaura, Gaurahari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaurahari. Nitai Gauranga, Gaurahari. Jai Shasinandana Gaurahari. Jai Jai Shasinandana Gaurahari. Jai Shasinandana Gaurahari. Jai Jai
Nitagora Premanande! Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya, Shotatara Shishimada's Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya, Shotatara Shishimada's Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj Ki. Jai! Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki. Jai! Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Jai! Multi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Is founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Praise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki. Gagamai Yamunamai Ki. Bhakti Devi Tosi Devi Ki. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki. Shri Brihat Mardanga Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Jai Premanande! All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories, all glories, the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlada Ladadaine.
Prahlada Daine.
Hiranyakashipur Vashaha.
Hiranyakashipur
Singa Paratana Singa
Narsimha Paranta Narsimha
Tatogami Tatana Singa
Yami Tato Narsimha
Singa Hidaye Singa
Bahir Narsimha Predaye Narsimha
Namadim Sharanam Prapade
Narasimhadim Sharanam Prapade
Kamalavare Nakamatuta Singa Salita Hirana Kasipo Janadinga Disappearance Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha
Dalita Hiranyakashipu Janubhina Keshavadina Naraharirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Jagadisha
Jai Jagannath,
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. विनाशकारी नृसिंहदेव भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की अनंत कोटि वरिष्ठ बिंद की जय गौर सीतना प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Maharaj ki. Thank you all for joining us in this celebration of the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. His glories are unlimited. What we spoke about today are just scratching the surface of his transcendental glories, his teachings, his contribution. We all have with us, through His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, the mission set forth by Lord Chaitanya, carried forth through the Parampara. Today we give great gratitude to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Let us fill our day with thoughts and prayers for His mercy, so that we can continue the mission that He gave to Srila Prabhupada, which has now been handed to us. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj ki.
Jai. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vaishnavebhyo.
Vaishnavebhyo.